Well, I was going to do it for Scout because I thought that later on she might like to know that I actually did meet Alice in Wonderland. I was on vacation with my grandmother and my aunt, and we were at Llandudno in North Wales. Well, Llandudno, we were walking around a marine drive, and it goes around what they call the Great Orme. The Great Orme is a promontory that juts out into the Irish Sea. On the side of it, we saw a flat spot, and it was a little place up there called Happy Valley, and we saw that some way a building had been put up there. So there was a very steep path up there, but we decided to go and investigate. So while we were walking up there, an older lady came along, and of course I was probably around, maybe 13, somewhere like that. I'm not sure exactly, but I think about 13. And we started walking up. Of course, with my young legs, I was able to prance up there, but this lady had a stick. And so I slowed down and stayed with my grandmother and my aunt, and the lady started talking to us, and of course my grandmother and the lady were just puffing and finding it steep, and we started talking, and she talked to us, and she seemed to sort of talk to me more than she did to them. Well, we walked on up there, and we didn't know the lady, but anyway, we get up to this place, and it was a little outdoor theatre that had been constructed, and they were going to do a play, and the play was part of Alice in Wonderland. It was the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. So we sat down, and the lady sat with us, and she talked to me quite a bit, and later on she introduced herself. She was the original Alice. When she was around 10 years old, it seems that Charles Dodgson, who was the author of Alice in Wonderland, under the name, of course, of Lewis Carroll, was a friend of her father's, and he was actually, well, he was an author, but he was a mathematics professor at Oxford University. Her father was the dean of Christ Church College at Oxford, and the two were very close friends, but they had summer homes up there in Llandudno, and he was very fond of Alice and her two sisters. Alice was around 10 when she was sitting there. She would talk to Lewis Carroll or Charles Dodgson, and they would weave all kinds of stories. He would talk to them and tell them little stories. Well, it seems that she saw a rabbit going down a hole, and she started fantasizing about where did the rabbit go. And not necessarily was it, I don't know whether it was white or not, she didn't say, but it was apparently the start of, she started fantasizing about where did the rabbit go. He must have a home under there, and she wondered if other rabbits had homes under there, and maybe there was a little village under there or something. And they started weaving this story, and it developed into, with Lewis Carroll's expertise, developed into the book Alice in Wonderland. So actually I did meet, her name was Alice Liddell, or it was when she was small, and so that is how I came to meet up with Alice. So we sat there with her and watched the play, and it was quite a nice you know, experience to meet up with the original Alice. So I thought I would like to record that for Scout. And there is the book for her, and maybe later on she will, she can enjoy the book, and I sure hope she enjoys it as much as I have over the years. It's, I got the best edition of it that I could, and it is a very wonderful story. But Charles Dodgson, the story goes that Queen Victoria was so impressed with the book that she ordered all of his all the books that he had written. Of course, she was quite surprised when they were delivered to the palace, because they were all on mathematics. All of his books. So she was quite surprised to receive a whole shipment of books on mathematics. But that is the story of how I met Alice. I have just always enjoyed remembering, you know, that that I actually did meet up with her. So it was really quite a good experience for a child. So anyway, I just hope that Scout enjoys it too. This is the best edition I could find. It's on recycled paper, and I hope it holds up. But that was the best one I could find. So hopefully she'll enjoy it and the little story that goes with it.
You want to say anything directly to Scout?
Yep. Scout, you enjoy this. You may not want to read it while you're very young, but you will enjoy it later, I assure you. And I hope that you'll remember that your great-grandmother met up with Alice, and it was a lovely experience. So you enjoy, and you keep reading.